Welcome to the Traffic and Transportation Commission meeting for February 16th, 2026. We'll go ahead and do roll call. We'll go to Commissioner Littlefield.
Here.
Commissioner Carnes.
Here.
Commissioner Hale.
Here, sir.
Commissioner Martinez.
Here.
Commissioner Wynn.
Here.
Commissioner George.
Here.
And Commissioner Cornett.
Here.
Can I have a motion concerning the minutes of the December 15th, 2025 meeting, please?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Hale. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Cornett. Any discussion? We have a motion to approve the minutes of the December 15, 2025 meeting from Commissioner Hale, seconded by Commissioner Cornett. Can I have your votes, please? Give me just a second. Okay, as we're standing by, just to recall, we did not have our January meeting due to the weather. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Okay, motion passed with all 7 in favor. Okay, we go on now to reports from the Traffic Services Division and the Counselor's Office. Sir?
All right, you've got our standard monthly report before you. We have not had any additional speed cushions installed within the past couple months. We did learn one lesson in the last month when, at the time this meeting was canceled for the pending snowstorm. There are some speed cushions which are in place on Northwest 36th Street, which is, at the time they were installed, unknown to us as being a snow route, and so some of them were damaged by snowplows, but they've since been reinstalled. So we will be coming back later on this year with recommended amendments to our alternative speed abatement program based on lessons learned. And I think one of the things that you will see is that we will not be doing speed cushions or physical in the road traffic calming measures on roads that are assigned as snow routes. Aside from that, I'm happy to answer any other questions you may have on the report.
All right, thank you very much. Counselor's Office, do you have anything?
Nothing from us.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, we go on now to item 4, the consent docket. Is there anybody here to speak against an item on the consent docket? Okay, staff, do you have any input?
Both of these items come from the Oklahoma Department of Transportation as part of the reconstruction of Piedmont Road, which is State Highway 4, which is right now being rebuilt from Wilshire to the Northwest Expressway. They've submitted signal studies and warrant studies for new signals at Wilshire Boulevard and at Britton Road. Both the locations were determined to meet traffic signal warrants, and therefore both of these items are on the agenda for consent. Actually, the signal at Wilshire Boulevard is substantially complete at this point in time, and the one at Britton Road is still a ways out because the roadway is being shifted to the west, and it'll be a while before that road is ready for a signal to be installed. Other than that, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have on these items.
All right, thank you. Do we have a motion concerning the consent docket?
Motion to approve.
Where'd that come from? I heard it somewhere.
Carnes.
There you go. Motion to approve by Commissioner Carnes. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Martinez. Do we have any talk on the consent docket? Okay, we have a motion to approve the consent docket by Commissioner Carnes, seconded by Commissioner Martinez, and we're ready to vote. Item has passed with all 8 in favor. All right. We go on now to item 5 for items for individual consideration. Stan Seed, the Director of Operations for Anheuser-Busch Sales and Distribution Company, traffic signal at South Eastern Avenue and Beechwood Avenue / on-Q driveway. Do we have anybody here to speak on this item? Okay. Staff, do we have comment?
All right, you got comments before you. When this item was originally submitted, the on-queue had not been constructed. So we had done a signal warrant analysis just based on the volumes coming into the intersection from Beechwood Avenue. And the intersection did not meet any warrants. The volumes on the side streets were too low. In December, the on-queue on the east side of Eastern Avenue was opened. And at that time, they've got 4 driveways serving that facility, but they've got enough traffic volume coming in from the driveway, which is opposite Beechwood Avenue, to actually satisfy warrant 1 based on, which is the 8-hour traffic volume warrant, and for warrant 2, which is a 4-hour. One thing that I will note is that if the speed limit on Eastern Avenue had not been posted at 40 miles an hour, and this was evaluated using 40-mile-an-hour criteria, this intersection would not have met any signal warrants. When considering this particular request, the one thing that staff cautions is that closely spaced signals do have a tendency to create some traffic backups. They are a little bit more challenging to time and to phase. A local example of what I'm alluding to is over on Sooner Road, and that's on the south side of I-240. The signal is at Southeast 77th Street, and at that location, the 2 signals at those ramp locations are about 370 feet apart. At this particular location, we're looking at just under 500 feet separation. So should the Traffic and Transportation Commission approve the request, staff recommends the approval include roadway widening for dedicated north and southbound left turn lanes on Eastern Avenue at Beechwood Avenue and the on-Q driveway opposite it. So action on this item is going to be at the discretion of the commission, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have on the application.
All right, do we have a motion concerning 5A?
Motion to approve with the city's recommendation of widening the road north and south.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Hale to approve item 5A to include staff recommendation. Do we have a second?
Seconded.
We'll get the second from Commissioner Littlefield. Do we have any discussion on 5A? Yes, sir.
Do we know what's going to go on in the development to the east? I think that's kind of an alliance property there with a lot of different industrial development going on. Do we have any idea what their plans for traffic control are, like down that main road that kind of cuts through the development there?
At this point in time, no. There are some significant buildings, warehouse-type facilities, but they also may be retail sales. When we were looking at this particular case, I was up and down that particular roadway taking a look at seeing what might be coming, but there'll probably be more industrial development in the future. But at this point in time, I can't really tell you. Now, traffic from that will be coming in at a location closer to the I-240 ramps and will not benefit from a signal here.
All right, any other talk on item 5A? Okay, we have a motion to approve 5A with the recommendations from the staff, from Commissioner Hale, seconded by Commissioner Littlefield, and the votes, please.
Yes, sorry.
Item has passed with all 8 in favor. We go on now to item 5B, Matt Dietrich, Always Stop Control, North Robinson Avenue and Northwest 11th Street. Have anybody here to speak on this item? Please, come on up. Let me have your name, address, and you'll have up to 5 minutes.
Hello, my name is Kristen Bales, 2228 Northwest 15th Street, Oklahoma City, 73107. I'm with the Downtown Oklahoma City Partnership and representing the Midtown Association. In June 2023, the Midtown Association Board voted to submit 6 intersections to Traffic Commission for always stops. And the item included here in this application was the 3rd priority on that list of the Midtown Board. So we submitted that to city staff in 2023 and received feedback that Embark was not supportive of this request. And so at that point, the board determined to move on to other priorities that might be easier to approve without needing Embark approval at that time. And so we've been able to work to get always stops at 12th and Walker, 9th and Harvey, 8th and Hudson, and then pedestrian crossing signage at 9th and Hudson. Knowing that a citizen has submitted this formally, I just wanted to make sure that it was recognized that the Midtown Association is fully supportive of this application for an always stop. We've repeatedly heard concerns from our businesses, residents in the area about the driver confusion, the visibility challenges here, and as well as pedestrian safety concerns. And we've heard a lot of anecdotes of near misses at this intersection. And given Midtown's continued growth and pedestrian activity and residential density, this really aligns with the goals of the Midtown Association to have calmer traffic in the district. Any questions?
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Anybody else wanted to speak on item 5B? Okay, staff input, please.
All right, you got comments before you. When we did run an always stop control analysis using the criteria set in the manual on uniform traffic control devices, it was determined that this particular location did not satisfy any of the criteria. Criteria includes sight distance, crashes, transition to signal control, 8-hour traffic warrants, and then another one which is more open, which is other factors, which is generally considered to be mitigating circumstances. In this particular case, if the commission votes to approve this item, we will have to make some changes to parking. There will be a parking space at the northeast corner of the intersection, which would need to be marked out because it would be within 30 feet of a stop sign. And likewise, at the southwest corner, there are 2 spaces there that would be within 30 feet of the stop sign, so those 2 spaces would also be marked out from being used. Other than that, I'm happy to answer any other questions you may have on the application.
All right, do we have a motion concerning item 5B?
Motion to approve with the removal of the 2 spaces within the 30 feet of the the stop signs.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 5B by Commissioner Martinez, which includes the 3 spaces to be removed. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Cornett. Any discussion?
Did Embark have any opinion on it now?
Since publishing the agenda, I've not had any feedback from Embark. I don't know if there are any representatives from Embark here at the meeting that would care to comment on it. No.
Okay.
Any other talk? Okay. We have a motion to approve 5B from Commissioner Martinez to include the loss of the 3 parking spaces, seconded by Commissioner Cornett. Ready to vote. Item has passed with all 8 in favor. Okay, we go on now to 5C. Becky Chapman, Chair, Bricktown Board of Directors, and Kristen Vales, the Director of Place Management in the Downtown Oklahoma City Partnership. Always stop control at North Oklahoma Avenue and East Main Street. Ma'am, we already have your information. You have up to 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I'm representing the Bricktown Association now. I'm with the Downtown Oklahoma City Partnership. This intersection has been a recurring topic of concern from Bricktown stakeholders. The feedback and issues that we hear from our Bricktown businesses and residents in the area is particular with this intersection only having 1 traffic control. There are 3 angles where there is no traffic control, and this causes a lot of visibility concerns, so that when you're northbound on Oklahoma Avenue, you really have to encroach into the pedestrian walkway to be able to see see around the parking that is along Main Street. And so the Bricktown Association is supportive, noting that there would have to be parking removed in order to put in this all-way stop. But Bricktown is one of our most walkable districts, and it's really important, and Bricktown prioritizes the pedestrian because it's business in Bricktown is when people are walking around Bricktown. And so we've got a hotel there, we've got restaurants in the area, and there's support from the area adjacent property owners to have an all-way stop at this location. Thank you.
Anyone else wanted to speak on item 5C? Okay, staff?
All right, you've got our comments before you. Like the previous case, this particular location does not have sufficient volumes, crash history, or any other mitigating circumstances which would warrant the use of all-way stop control. As Ms. Vales noted, there are a couple spaces at the southwest corner of the intersection which would be too close to the stop sign to be retained. So if all-way stop control is approved, those two spaces will be marked out and precluded from use. And other than that, happy to answer any questions you might have on this request.
Okay, do we have a motion concerning item 5C?
I move to approve.
Motion to approve
Motion to
by
approve.
Commissioner Cornett. Do we have a
With the
second?
removal of those parking spots as well.
And the removal of the parking spots. Do we have a second?
Seconded.
Okay, motion to approve by Commissioner Cornett with the removal of the parking spaces, and seconded by Commissioner Martinez. Do we have any discussion on this? The only question I have is on the parking spaces. This is angle parking that seems to be, I wouldn't say off-street, but it's not along the street per se. Is that different than say, parallel parking like the one previously? Is there any, or is parking?
Well, when it comes to state law and municipal code, which mirrors state law, there's no distinction when it comes to that. In these particular cases, when you've got angled spaces which will back out into traffic right at a stop bar, it is best to keep parking movements away from traffic control devices. So,
Yeah.
so whether it's parallel on-street parking where there is no inset, or parallel on-street parking where there is parking lay-by, or if it's angle parking, we always adhere to the posted state law and municipal codes, which preclude parking within 30 feet of a stop sign or a flashing beacon.
Yeah, I was thinking of just visibility of the stop sign, but you're saying just backing out right there at that area would be a problem. Okay, I see. Very good. Okay, any other talk on item 5C? And we have a motion to approve with losing the 2 spaces by Commissioner Cornett, second by Commissioner Martinez. Votes, please. Item has passed with all 8 in favor. We go on now to 5D, Corey Hubert, Parking Services Manager from Embark. 2 items, and they're listed up on the screen. We have anybody here who wants to speak on it? Sir, if I could have your name and address, you have up to 5 minutes.
Corey Hubert, Embark Parking Services Manager, address 431 West Main Street, Suite B. Trying to add paid parking in place of time-limited parking just west of the Paycom Arena to avoid confusion. There's been a few incidences of late where visitors at Myriad Gardens have had confusion because these areas are marked as time-limited parking. They couldn't find a parking meter because it's time-limited parking, so just trying to unify that area.
All right, thank you very much.
Here, if you have any questions.
Yes, sir. Anybody else wanted to speak on 5D? Okay, staff?
Okay, in this particular application, the use of metered parking to regulate on-street parking on Harvey Avenue and on Southwest 2nd Street would be consistent with the type of parking control commonly used in this part of the downtown core area. We did review the location with respect to meeting ADA requirements with respect to the number of handicap parking spaces required, and this particular parking change, which will go from unstructured parking to structured parking, there are still a sufficient number of reserved parking spaces for the physically disabled to meet PRO-AG requirements. So action on this item will be at the discretion of the commission.
All right, thank you. Do we have a motion concerning item 5D?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve 5D by Commissioner Martinez. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Cornett.
The two of us, this whole meeting.
Okay, do we have any talk on item 5D? Okay, motion to approve 5D by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Cornett. Votes, please. Item has passed with all 8 in favor. We go on now to item 5E, Ed Hamilton, all-way stop control at Brook Hill Drive and Northwest 154th Terrace. Do you have anybody here to speak on this item? Sir, if I can have your name, address, you have up to 5 minutes.
My name is Ed Hamilton. I live at 15516 Brook Hill Drive, and I'm here concerning the intersection at Brook Hill Drive and 154th Terrace. And I'm asking for an all-way stop at that location. Like many of my neighbors, old and young alike, we have vibrant activities that are going on throughout the day. And I think it's just better to be safe than sorry. We've met all the requirements of the petition, and for our students and kids that are walking around, they're no longer able to chalk the driveways or anything of that nature anymore because of the amount of traffic that's going on and how many people are driving on their cell phones. The young folks are like this, more like this, and the old folks are looking down like this driving. So you know how that goes. You know, some of our neighbors have put up signs along 154th in terms of slow down for our children, slow down for our pets. And so we've been asking folks to slow down. Just west of this intersection is another intersection with a 4-way stop sign there. That was put there probably 5 years ago when there were really no houses along that intersection, but we're getting a lot more through traffic than that intersection, primarily because of an adjacent neighborhood to the west of us, where they're indicating on Google the shortcut is to come down 154th Terrace and go out our neighborhood in our addition. One of the other issues that we're having is there's a lot of construction, a lot of new houses that are being built, a lot of cement trucks and construction trucks and things of that nature, particularly when the students are getting off the bus in the afternoon. Again, our traffic, like most neighborhoods, is during the morning and the afternoon. I understand the studies were kind of done around noon or 2 o'clock-ish, but you know, the traffic is really at the early morning drive time and the afternoon, so it's very concerning for our neighbors in there. And I understand that you have be in accordance with MUTCD and those warrants and what have you, but we think that we meet some of those criteria, not all of them, but we think we can meet warrant 7, warrant 4, and maybe warrant 3. So, and if you're not able to do all the way, I think a reasonable alternative would be to put a stop sign on the northwest corner of Brook Hill and then another stop sign on 154th coming back east. So one would be going back south, a stop sign, and then one east. I understand you're not able maybe to put a stop sign at my driveway. Unfortunately, my driveway is in the middle of the intersection. I don't know how that happened, but it's right in the middle, and I understand that you may not be able to put a stop sign there because of parking easements and things of that nature, having a stop sign there. So that a reasonable alternative may be to put a stop sign at 150 at Brook Hill going south, and then one right there. And that should provide some structure, at least for our kiddos getting off the school buses in the afternoon and what have you. I've been cussed out and everything trying to get out of my driveway. My wife has almost been hit several times walking the doggy. You know, we walk the doggy in the afternoons or what have you. I happen to be retired, so it's not as big an issue for me, but we want to have safety for our kiddos and our wives that are out walking dogs and things of that nature. I was just shocked at the number of 1,400 folks coming through that intersection for that neighborhood. So again, if we can't get the all-way, reasonable alternative, we can get 2 of those at that intersection. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Anybody else wanted to speak on item 5E? Okay, staff input?
All right, you've got our report before you. One thing of note, the applicant has provided a petition demonstrating full local support for this particular all-way stop control request, and the traffic volumes on both roadways are nearly balanced, making this probably a location which we consider suitable for the use of all-way stop control. So action on the item will be at the discretion of the commission.
All right, thank you. Do we have a motion concerning item 5E?
Yeah, I'd move approval of the all-way.
We have a motion from Commissioner George to approve item 5E. We have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wynn. Okay, do we have any talk on 5E?
The only thing would you like to, are you going to tell me about the ASAP program?
Oh, what is that program?
I just wanted to mention, we talked about it a little bit earlier. We have a speed abatement program where your neighborhood can try to get some speed calming efforts placed in your neighborhood. And we're happy to tell you more about it, but you can look up ASAP program in Oklahoma City, and you can get all of the different things that we could put in your neighborhood to slow down the speeders that are coming through as well. There is an investment from the neighborhood, and it's met with an investment from the city. But that should help, especially because you have so many roads that are really long stretches without any stop control at all either. But that should help.
Thank you. Physical barriers like speed tables can have a greater effect on people speeding and cut through traffic than signage. It's just something I think that we've all learned. My question to you is, you mentioned cement trucks and construction traffic. You might want to come back up to the podium. Where is that happening?
The construction now is coming down 154th, just to the west of us. That other street at Hatterley and 154th, there are probably 8 or 9 new homes there. Those stop signs were put in a long time ago, but now that is all filled in. I would say to the southwest of us, they're just putting in some new development. The roads are not in, but they've put in some new streets. So I think there are going to be at least 50 new homes to the southwest of where we are at that intersection, and that'll go all the way down to 150th, and then probably not halfway to Rockwell, but a quarter of the way to Rockwell from Deer Creek Village where we live.
So we're talking where the red box is that says requested all-way stop control, that area in the image?
Right. You see those 3 stop signs. That one stop sign there that may cause some heartburn there, that's to the right. That's right at my driveway. They were just a little south of my driveway there. So any signage, I guess, would have to be pushed back away from the driveway, and I think would cause some consternation around parking around the stop sign around there.
So they're coming in on 155th?
154th. Look off to the left there. They're coming, that whole neighborhood is coming down 154 towards my house there. So my house is in the middle of that intersection. So if you look off to the left and you go right straight down 154, that's where we're getting a lot of traffic. We're also getting traffic from the north part of that neighborhood, but that's coming, that would impact that stop sign there on the northwest corner there. So we're getting all that traffic coming back from our neighborhood and from the adjacent neighborhood to the west there.
Construction traffic.
Huh? No, there's just regular traffic.
Okay,
The
I'm trying to
construction-
address the construction traffic that you mentioned.
On here, the construction traffic is really, you will see the new development down here to the south. The
Right.
construction traffic is not really showing well on this one here, because the houses are actually there, and they're still building them. I can't hardly see.
So, sir, right
On
around
the-
where the red box is
Right.
that the new stuff being built?
Yeah, that's the new stuff down there.
And they're coming-
that won't impact me near as much, but there's still houses there being constructed. As a matter of fact, I just saw some digging on some of the concrete that they're putting in, sidewalks and things of that nature. But that's due west of us, and that's where a lot of construction is coming in. And all of those big cement trucks come right in front of us, and then they go back west up 154.
Okay, because my reason for asking those questions is that I don't know where, I haven't figured it out in my mind yet, but it might be a good opportunity to consider limiting axle sizes, particularly on something like 154 or 150, where am I?
Down 150, well, I would agree with you. I would really agree. I mean, Brook Hill Drive is tore up.
That'd be a separate application, I believe.
I mean, it's essentially tore up because of those larger trucks.
Yeah, it would, yeah, if someone wanted to pursue an axle restriction through the commission, that they would make a separate application. There wouldn't be any petition or anything involved with it, but it would be a request. However, it would not prohibit construction vehicles, if they had a destination and they needed to use a particular street, those vehicles would still be allowed to use roads like that. And anybody who had business in there, like whether they're operating a lawn business or something like that, they would also still have the ability to access those streets.
Yeah. Excuse me?
Yeah,
Okay, I mean-
the multi-axle thing is for constant through traffic that has nothing to do with that area.
Yeah, so like I said, if anything, if we could just get those two off to the left there, off to the right there, if nothing else, I think that would be a great alternative. If we can't get all three of those.
I think you're going to get all three. Just so
Okay.
you know. And you can't, I don't think you can do stop sign one way, but not the other.
Okay.
See what I mean? So it'll be all three.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Anybody else, any other talk about item 5E? Okay, we have a motion to approve 5E from Commissioner George, seconded by Commissioner Wynn. Can I have your votes, please? Oh, yeah, thanks. Item has passed with all 8 in favor. We go on now to item 5F, Fred Mazzarati, sorry. Traffic signal at Edge Creek Avenue and Northwest 150th Street. You have anybody here to speak on this item? And you're Fred?
Good afternoon, Caitlin Turner, 525, no, not Fred, 525 Northwest 11th Street, here on behalf of the applicant. Here with me is Muhammad Khan with SMC and BJ Hawkins with TEC. So this proposal is brought to you through efforts with the council person as well as the developer who will be funding the requested traffic signal at 150th and Edge Creek. This is to accommodate the future development that's going to be coming to this area. So we would request your approval, and we are here if you have any questions.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Anybody else wanting to speak on item 5F?
All right, the staff at Traffic Engineering Consultants was tasked with preparing a signal warrant analysis based on future traffic demands based upon the proposed developments. TEC's study asserts that this particular location will meet 2 of the 9 warrants for signalization under future traffic conditions. As stated by the applicant, the party seeking to do this particular development will bear the cost for the roadway and traffic signalization improvements if they are approved through the commission. So action will be at the discretion of the commission. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
All right, thank you. Do we have a motion concerning 5F?
I'd move approval of the application, and thank you for wanting to pick up the tab.
We have a motion
Second that.
to approve 5F from Commissioner George and seconded by
Carnes.
by Commissioner Carnes. Any discussion on 5F? Okay, we have a motion to approve 5F from Commissioner George, seconded by Commissioner Carnes, and we're ready to vote, and please vote. Item has passed with all in favor. Thank you very much. We all now go to 5G, Max Payne, traffic signal, Cristobal Boulevard and Silverhawk Way and Northwest 178th Street. Do you have anybody here to speak on this? Sir, if I can have your name and address, you have 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. My name is Charles Nearing. I'm speaking on behalf of Max Payne, who's with us today. I want to thank the Traffic and Transportation Commission for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Charles Nearing. I reside at 2448 Northwest 179th Street in Edmond. Small community called Springs of Valencia is a part of the 2,000 home Valencia development. The Springs of Valencia is on the northwest corner of the Cristobal Boulevard intersection and parallel to 178th toward the west. Our motivation in the application and coming today is related to living in the area. Living in the area, we've come to have increased sensitivity around safety issues, and it's at a personal level. We feel the effects of crashes and injuries and complications from those injuries that go on past the time that the crash has since been forgotten. We see lines of cars backed up on North Pennsylvania and wrapping around the corner onto the eastbound lanes of 178th Street during peak school pickup times. And we're reminded that these vehicles are about to be filled with children, and they are the same vehicles, parents, and children that use the street and the study area every day. And we appreciate the commentary in the study, traffic study, indicating that a control signal can improve the kinds of crashes that we're seeing today. Our area in the last 3 months has changed. In the 3 months since the application letter was received, there have been 2 additional crashes, so the reported crashes is now 7 versus the previous 5. We recognize the study evaluates past data and incorporates those data into a snapshot of the present, but we feel compelled to communicate driving in the area around our homes has a different feel today than it did even 6 months ago. We do not hold ourselves up to be cause experts, but we see trouble ahead and believe traffic changes for the worse will be occurring pretty rapidly. The study analysis indicates to us that during the study period, 3,323 vehicles passed this intersection at speeds greater than the posted 45 miles per hour speed limit. The study notes 1 vehicle was traveling at 91 miles per hour. Resident observations suggest extreme speeds are more common on the weekend evenings than during the week when the study was conducted. We judge speeds by engine RPM, valve float, and exhaust backfire sounds while under high acceleration and deceleration. We say to each other, sounds like the Mustang again. Yep. And there is a Mustang that we know is a frequent offender. Speed's an issue between North Pennsylvania and May Avenue on 178th. And again, we understand a signal will control traffic flow, slow the traffic, and provide a safer access for us from Cristobal Boulevard and Skyhawk Way onto 178th Street. In addition to the crash reduction, a dual benefit of reducing exhibition driving and racing may also be possible. There are a total of 5 access points on the north side of 178th Street and the 0.3 of a mile difference between North Pennsylvania and Cristobal Boulevard. Those access points are shared between 12 existing businesses. Today, there are potentially 14 more additional businesses that will be coming soon. This is a result of existing construction that's underway or open bays in buildings that currently exist. So we believe, again, excitement is just beginning. This potentially doubles the number of businesses generating traffic on and off of 178th Street. A similar situation exists on the Silverhawk Way side of the street between May and Pennsylvania. Additionally, a large apartment complex is under consideration for the open space on the southwest corner of Pennsylvania and 178th. We do not have clarity on the status or the size of the development, but we have heard 400 units is being discussed. In whatever manner this land is immediately east of Silverhawk Way is developed, drivers could begin to use Silverhawk Way and 173rd Street as a shortcut pathway to North Pennsylvania, resulting in even more access from 178th Street and unintended traffic through a residential area. It is notable that both 178th as well as North Pennsylvania Avenue outside lanes are already impeded by parental pickup traffic for the Westfield Elementary school children. There's a kinder care preschool proximal to the elementary school, and the pickup line of parents' vehicles collecting students from those schools often extends from the school back north to 178th Street and around the corner and further west on the eastbound side of 178th, at least 100 yards of backup. It has been observed on rainy days that this backup has reached Silverhawk Way. In addition to traffic control light would be of benefit today, given current and near-term development in the area, we believe the traffic control signal is an if and not a when. There's an unplanned and unintended new risk that's being introduced in what I call a false mitigation. The false mitigation is that people are now recognizing the dangers of left turns at the study intersection, particularly during the peak periods of time. To avoid the danger, they're driving through the twisting, turning, narrow streets of the Valencia development to reach other access points into or out of the community. For example, I have begun to turn left coming out of Springs of Valencia and travel Cristobal to Northwest 179th Street, to Jimenez, to 182nd Street, to Penn, and then back north.
Sir, if I could ask you to summarize, please?
Yes, and so we would ask, based on the transfer of risk from drivers that have decided not to turn left, and I think rightfully so, decided not to turn left at 178th Street in Cristobal, driving through that there would be great benefit to the installation of traffic control to reduce crash risks that's occurring today, improve safe access to the Northwest 178th Street, regulate excessive speeds, help improve safety for our families and children, and prepare for infrastructure that's certainly coming. And we respectfully request that you approve that application.
Thank you very much, sir. Anybody else wanting to speak on item 5G? Okay, staff?
All right, you've got our report before you. I believe Mr. Nearing summarized many of the points that were raised inside the report. At this time, this particular intersection does not meet any of the current warrants for considering signalized traffic control. So should the commission consider or approve the request for a signal at this intersection, the approval needs to include roadway widening for dedicated east and westbound left turn lanes on Northwest 178th Street for safer left turn access to Cristobal Boulevard and Silverhawk Way. So action on this item will be at the discretion of the commission. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have on the application.
Thank you very much. Do we have a motion concerning item 5G?
You know, this is kind of a tough one, but I'll move approval of the application with the addition of street widening. This is a, you know, just keep further north you go, 178th is becoming super busy like 150th is now. You know, there's the two access points onto 178th from this, looks like 1,000 homes. You know, kind of in my neighborhood, there's a similar situation, and there was a street light put in one of them, and it takes people to that to get out. So I think if it's too soon, maybe, but I don't think so really, especially since we're on a 10-year term or whatever to get things added. So that's why I'd move approval of the application.
We have a motion to approve 5G from Commissioner George to include the staff recommendation of the left turn lanes. Do we have a second?
Seconded.
Seconded by Commissioner Martinez. we have any discussion on 5G? The only thing I ask is, Captain, could you please let the motorcycle guys know to go look in that area and keep track of the speed, please?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, sir.
Out for that Mustang.
Yeah, look out for that Mustang. Okay, and nobody else has any comments? Okay, we have a motion to approve 5G from Commissioner George to include the staff recommendation of the left turn lanes, seconded by Commissioner Martinez, and we can vote. Item has passed with all 8 in favor. All right. We go on now to item 6, comments from citizens. Anybody out there want to say anything? Okay, we go on now to item 7, reports from the traffic commissioners. Go to Commissioner Littlefield.
It feels good to be busy again.
Nice having you around. Go to Commissioner Carnes.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about item D that we just approved for consistency on the parking situation downtown. But I was kind of on the fence about it. I'd almost like to see it go the other way, that we have parking but don't charge the citizens for it, because we've got the citizens that have paid for all these MAPS projects, and then we're charging for parking around them. So I think that if there's anybody watching this, that might be something for good for some citizens to take up. That's just my opinion, and I appreciate it.
Okay, go to Commissioner Hale.
Nothing to report, sir.
Commissioner Martinez.
Nothing at this time, but I also would like to echo Commissioner Carnes' sentiment on the parking spaces as well. So if anyone out there is listening, please bring us an application. Gladly take it up. Other than that, that's it.
Okay, staff, maybe it's something next month we could have a briefing about why we have parking, paid parking downtown, just in a general presentation of this is why we have paid parking. And I know that we were the first city, right, to do metered parking?
Yes.
So-
Meters originated in Oklahoma City.
So why do we have metered parking compared to 2-hour time limit, which is the same thing per se? Because when you do a meter parking, it's for 2 hours. That's
Right.
That's one thing that we standardized, because we had the 1 hour and we had
Correct.
the 2 hours. So maybe just a quick presentation of some sort, or some letter explaining.
Okay, I'll probably contact my colleagues over at Embark.
Right.
Because they manage the metered parking in the downtown core area, so we'll have something together for next month.
Yeah, and then we can talk about it. Okay? We go to Commissioner Wynn.
Nothing here.
Commissioner George.
No, nothing except on the parking. I'm kind of lean toward the way you guys are thinking too. But I just do wonder how much money is raised in that downtown corridor as far as the metered parking, and where does that money go? I mean, is it put back into that area, or does it go to a general fund,
Yeah,
or like?
That's all good stuff to know.
And then, although I do like the fact that we cut it off at 5 p.m.
6.
Is it 6?
6.
Oops. So it's 6, and then not on weekends too, right?
Right, weekends and
So,
holidays.
you know, and that's unusual. You know, you go to a lot of cities, it's 24/7. So anyway, that's my 2 remarks on that.
No, very good. And Commissioner Cornett.
Well, I have something to add. I know everybody is so surprised. Often whenever you have metered parking, it's to actually decrease the number of people who are in a walkable area, who can actually like walk or bike to those areas. And instead of taking their cars there, they are put in a position where they would rather take those other avenues. So it promotes like that last mile or closer from using up that spot with a car and forcing them to actually walk or ride bikes. So it decreases congestion over the long term. But that's all I will say about that, because I'm also trying to get some paid parking removed from an area. So I don't want to cut off my nose. Otherwise, I don't have anything to add. Thank
Okay.
you all for attending today. We appreciate you.
Did you have something, sir? No? Okay. All right. We go on. Captain, do you have anything?
No.
Okay. Counselor, do you have anything, sir? Staff, do you have anything?
Nothing additional.
All right. Does anybody else have anything for the Traffic Commission? Oh, we do. Standing by. Standing by. I was ready. You're out of order. All right. Anybody have anything? Seriously. Okay. All right. We're adjourned.